All right, boom, we're live. Episode 89, MMA Complete Podcast. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We are doing a Wednesday podcast today because me and Austin are actually going to the Bruins game tomorrow, so we wouldn't be able to record. So, special Wednesday edition of MMA Complete Podcast. We want to shout out Fans Only Sports real quick for giving us the platform to put this on. Check out fansonlysports.com. Check out Fans Only Sports on their Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook page, all of that. Good timing, man. I literally just started.
And all that.
What's up? Wednesday podcast, special edition.
Yeah.
Gearing up for the Bruins tomorrow.
Hammering me over. Hammering.
Even the earlier time that we're doing, we're going to be able to go to the casino maybe after this and put some bets in. Maybe even
For what?
pay for our trip for tomorrow. I was looking at some basketball bets and some hockey bets tonight.
Okay.
Obviously, no UFC this weekend, so you can't throw anything on that yet.
Yeah, I'm down to throw some $10, $20 ones. I don't think I won anything last night. I didn't check my tickets yet.
If you want to get right into it, before we really dive into like what's happening in the UFC, the fucking lines on this pay-per-view, man. UFC 273 coming up not this weekend, but next weekend, April 9th.
Told you they were going to go up higher.
Dude, we knew it was gonna. I didn't think it was gonna change that quickly. Holy shit. So you got Volkanovski, who was the first person to pop up on the sports book.
I'm trying to look at it right now.
Came up at minus 490, I want to say, when it first popped up there. Probably a week and a half ago.
Yeah, he has no chance.
He's already at minus 700. Over a 200-point spike in a week.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I have 2 units on him already.
Yeah, I think I have.
I took Askarov.
Dude, you know what? No, I think I am dry right now for UFC bets.
Yeah, because I forgot. I didn't put Askarov on him. On the pod bet.
Yeah.
I put 2 units to win 4 units.
There you go.
Or 2 units to win 2 units.
Who'd you have, like Blades and Magny and Kamaev, Jan, and Volkanovski?
Blades, Jan, Volkanovski. Did I say Jan?
Mm-hmm.
Blades, Jan, Volkanovski, and
Kamaev.
Kamaev.
Okay. So
I'm like, there's no way that loses. I should have put more.
So we talked about this. I saw an interesting Twitter poll. By the way, go check us out on our Twitter. We've had some pretty decent polls the last couple days at _MMA or at complete_MMA.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was an interesting question, and we actually talked about it last week. But of those 3 big fights for UFC 273, who's the most likely to lose? Is it Jan, Volkanovski, or Kamaev?
The most likely to lose.
It's not Volkanovski.
Jan, probably Jan.
Is it Jan or is it Kamaev?
I'm not second guessing it,
Man,
Zach.
I'm not second guessing it either. Just for the fact of who's more likely. So you got Petr Yan fighting Aljamain Sterling. We know that Yan was obviously winning their fight against Sterling in the first fight.
You said Gilbert Burns quote. I don't know if you want to say that because you are the host of the pod. You said that earlier today.
Gilbert Burns. I have 2 objectives in the UFC. The first is fight against the toughest in the division, and the second is become champion. And to be champion, you need to fight against whoever. I wanted to fight with Colby. He had a fight. So Khamzat was the only one that wanted to fight. I know he's a big risk, and he's number 11 and very tough, but if I want to be champion, I need to fight everyone.
Even he's doubting himself already, dude.
I don't know if that's doubting himself. I think he's just reassuring his position. And I kind of like the position that he's taking. Like, he is, for all intents and purposes, he shouldn't be even taking this fight. Right? Because he's number 2 in the world. He's fighting against number 11. And Khamzat Chimaev is a special number 11 contender. We all know that. He is rising amongst the ranks like we've really only ever seen Conor do. Like, he really is on that trajectory. Maybe he's not as loud and he doesn't speak as well as English, so he can't really do these kind of interviews or whatever.
This guy's ripped, dude.
But if you're Burns, you don't even have to take this fight. You know what I mean? You really don't. Like, you could let number 5, number 6 take it and wait, do what you got to do. But he's taken the boogeyman of the division. Nobody wants to fight Chimaev, and Burns is saying, yeah, I'll fight him.
Yeah.
So good for him. I don't know if it's going to pay off. I don't think it will. But the fact that I'm going to recheck this because when I looked just a couple hours ago, I want to say Burns was like plus 450. Does that sound right?
Is he?
Burns is plus 400 right now. Burns is plus 400. The only person that Gilbert Burns has lost to in the last 4 years is Kamaru Usman. And he's plus 400. You know what I mean?
I'm not second guessing this, Zach.
I'm not either. No, I'm going to take Kamaev. But you better believe I am... no, I'm covering my bases with Gilbert Burns. God. I'm throwing a parlay of Volkanovski, Yan,
that's
and
smart.
Burns.
That's smart. I do.
And
that
I mean,
too.
I'm probably gonna throw a couple other people on there. I don't know if you saw, but the lines for the
Mackenzie
week.
Dern, love her.
Sure.
I did some. I watched
Jennifer
some
Maia
videos.
lost. That sucked.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah,
well,
she
they
did.
both lost.
Jennifer Maia lost to Manon Fiorot, who is like a relative unknown.
Yeah.
And right now in the rankings, they updated him. Maia is above Fiorot in the rankings.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I'm setting up a Twitter space because
Okay.
our space isn't active, so we're gonna go live on Twitter right now in just a second here.
But I just and we don't know how to talk about this for a while, but just because we had liked Maia for a little bit and because her odds were so well last week, Maia was plus 340 and she got knocked out in the first round. I think it was a first round knockout.
Yeah.
And now Maia was number 4. She dropped to number 6. Feel me?
Yeah.
She dropped to number 6.
I feel you.
Fiorot was number 11. She goes to number 7. So even though Fiorot just beat her by finish, they're still putting Maia above her in the rankings. I just thought that was an interesting little
That is
tidbit.
interesting.
It's weird how they're doing that.
No, I'm with
And Fiorot's, this is only her 4th fight in the UFC, and Maia's been around for a while. But at the same time, like if someone beats you, you got to be lower in the rankings than them.
Yeah. No, agreed.
Anyway, moving on to more prominent matters. UFC 273 in 2 weeks. We know the pod bet. We don't know the whole pod bet, but we know the 3 locks. We got Volkanovski, we got Petr Yan, we got Khamzat Chimaev, even though just those 3 together. Now, a 3-leg parlay, at its worst, you're still probably looking at plus 120. You know what I mean? At worst, plus 120. Those 3 together are still minus 157.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this going. I'm so confused.
No, you're totally fine.
I don't know why. I don't know if it's on. It says it's on. So
we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, we're going to keep talking about UFC 273. You might as well try to throw some other locks out there. And I like Duke a lot this weekend.
I think Duke wins it all. Oh, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. I also like Villanova, and Villanova is the underdog plus 4.5 right now.
Yeah, Josh Story likes the rematch.
Villanova UNC?
Yeah.
I could see that happening. There's no way. UNC's an 8 seed. If they make it to the final, that would be crazy. I have a ticket from December that had Duke to win the national championship at like plus 650. So I'm really hoping Duke wins that.
How much it
was like $30. So it's not.
Fuck it.
Right. It's money, but it's not.
That's good amount of money.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean?
Well,
that's like 400. That's like 350.
Yeah, I know. Dude, when that was happening in December, Duke was number 8 in the country, and they had just lost because they were number 2. Yeah. It was right around when Purdue was the best team, and I was like, it's Coach K's last year. I'm gonna throw $30 on him. Fuck it. Mm-hmm. And they've done really well in this tournament. But anyway, what I was saying is, I think it's a really good time to parlay those basketball matchups with the pod bet because we're just not gonna get fucking good odds, especially with all of them rising as they have been.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's smart to do that. I think it's smart, like we just said, put Gilbert Burns on a couple, safety bets, as you should say, and maybe put the fucking hammer on the table, dude, and put 200, or it's
Right.
kind of late to do their.
I know. I wish we had done that last week.
I did do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish. Yeah, no, I don't.
I wish we had laid the hammer down last week when all the odds. I didn't think that they were going to change this drastically. I knew that they were going to go up.
I didn't think so either.
Like, we had talked about Jan
Especially when it's
probably staying the same. We talked about Kamaev going up, and we talked about Volkanovski probably going up.
Yeah, especially when it's still a week away.
Oh, no.
More than a week and a half.
And
It's interesting. It's interesting.
I think that
Let's see what it is.
it's
now.
definitely... I'm not going to put anything on Sterling. I've made up my mind about this. Petr Yan's going to win the rematch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put
Ian
anything
Gary.
on Sterling.
Ian Gary.
Another notable thing that happened for this card coming up this weekend is that Dricus du Plessis got an injury. He's out of his fight against Anthony Hernandez.
Yeah.
That was one of the guys we originally had on the pod bet, so that kind of sucks to see. Slim pickings now. I think we're going to have to really talk about Rosenstrike Tibura, because if we like Rosenstrike, which I kind of do, I don't know. We'll have
I was thinking
enough.
about this. I think Rosenstrike wins.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was...
Ian Gary is
Ian
E-Champ's.
Gary, okay.
E-Champ's pick.
Yeah?
He was minus 260 last week. He's now...
Minus 360.
People are hammering him.
Hmm.
And it's the same amount of odds if you were to put Curtis Blades on there.
Right. Another notable thing is that Nasruddin Imavov is out of his fight against Gastelum. But Gastelum did tweet that there's someone stepping up on short notice to fight him, but that hasn't been announced yet.
So it's probably not happening.
Well, here's the thing. It's probably not happening, but if it
4-day
is...
notice?
No, it's still a week notice. It's next week.
Oh, a week and a half, yeah. Week and a half notice?
Week and a half notice. Unless it's against like a top 10 guy, I'm hammering Gastelum.
Yeah. Under or over? I'm going to say under.
Oh, this just popped up yesterday. I can't believe we didn't see this or tweet this out. Dricus du Plessis is out against Hernandez because he's going to fight Kelvin Gastelum. So it's du Plessis versus Gastelum.
Are you sure?
Because Imavov was out, and then I guess Dana White was like, nah, let's take du Plessis.
Really?
Yeah, this is SB Nation and MMAfighting.com. They're both saying du Plessis is going to step in against Kelvin Gastelum. So that is interesting.
Now I don't know what the fucking
Well,
thing.
let's take a look.
Now I'm thrown through a loop.
Let's take a look, and I'll even throw this up there so we can see it on the screen.
I don't know what to think now because we had Duplessis on the pod bet, but now it's like...
We had du Plessis because he was fighting.
I wonder if his number's there.
All right. So, as you can see here, Gastelum has lost 4 of his last 5.
He's not there. Gastelum has lost 4 of his last 5.
But they're all against top opponents. He lost Darren Till, he lost to Jack Hermanson, he lost to Robert Whitaker, and he lost to Jared Cannonier. These are really top guys. His only win is Ian Heinisch, who's not ranked.
Yeah, and Ian Heinisch is good.
And Kelvin Gastelum is the ultimate gatekeeper of this division. We've known that. You know, before these losses, he also lost to Adesanya in a fight that was really good. He was close to beating Adesanya.
Yeah, I'm ready to die.
So we know that happened. And then you got Dricus du Plessis, who's only 2-0 in the UFC. He's beaten Trevin Giles and, I want to say, Albert Perez.
Trevin Giles, that's an okay
both
win.
by finish.
That's an okay win.
Right.
Trevin Giles.
This fight
by
only got
knockout?
announced yesterday. So let's see if it's actually up on the UFC 273 board. Latifi versus Oleinik got moved to this fight as well. So du Plessis is going to have a 4.5-inch reach advantage. 2 years younger. Du Plessis 16-2. Again, 2-0 in the UFC. Do they have this on Sportsbook yet?
No, I was just looking. They do not have it up.
All right, so where would you go?
What do you mean? Oh, where?
When this does pop up, where are you going to go?
That's what I'm thrown through a loop now. Like I was saying.
This is an even fight, I really think. And it's not like you can say that because he stepped in, he's going to have a disadvantage because of a camp, because he's already been training for Hernandez.
This is a step up, though.
I got to say, I still like Gastelum. I
Yeah.
do still like Gastelum, and if I mean, I'm going to probably put money on him anyway, but if there's a chance that because Duplessis is younger, he's 2-0 in the UFC, Gastelum has this reputation of losing to big fighters. If Duplessis is the favorite, I might hammer Gastelum a little bit.
Yeah. I'm thrown through a loop. I don't know if I'm going to touch it.
They also don't have Oleinik versus Latifi on the sportsbook yet.
That was last week.
No, that fight got
rescheduled.
postponed to this week, right? Here's something else that's interesting, dude. So Aspen Ladd was supposed to fight Irene Aldana.
Yep.
Irene Aldana had to pull out, and on a couple weeks' notice, Raquel Pennington, who's also a top 10 ranked flyweight, bantamweight, stepped in to fight Ladd.
I like Aspen Ladd.
The lines didn't change at all. Aspen Ladd was plus 170. It went down to plus 160.
Yeah.
She's still the underdog.
I believe I said this last week on the podcast. I said the Aspen Ladd line was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And she was, I think, even higher. She was plus 220.
So Aspen Ladd beat Yana Kunitskaya and Jermaine Durandamy, which are two great wins. And then she lost in that really weird fight where she was like, she had COVID, she didn't tell anybody, and then she came in 2 weeks later and lost because she got winded to Norma Dumont. And now she hasn't fought in a couple months. She's getting the chance to come back. She's fighting Raquel Pennington, who has been kind of on a roll. She has 2 wins in a row. She's won 3 of her last 4, including against Irene Aldana. Raquel Pennington is bigger than Aspen Ladd. Aspen Ladd is kind of short for bantamweight. But she's younger, and she's had a full camp for this time. She's been healthy. The last 2 times we've seen her healthy, she's won against 2 really good fighters. Now she's fighting Pennington. This is a close fight. And I love that Ladd is plus 160. I'm definitely sprinkling.
I'm sprinkling.
It's not pod bet worthy. But I do like Ladd, especially now that I didn't like her against Aldana because Irene Aldana is really good.
There's a couple. We should maybe set like a couple rules for the pod bet. Maybe.
Like just locks.
Just locks or like no underdogs or no unders and overs to make sure that we always hit it. Because it did hit last week. I mean, the one that was
the UFC double. London card that we combined with Blades. Yeah, that was hit. That was a damn good pod bet. And after all the odds that we had combined, because we had Topuria minus 550, Pimblett minus 550, Blades minus 300, we won some money off it.
Yeah,
and it was because we got Aspinall before everybody hammered him as an underdog.
Yeah, and we win, dude, when we mix tickets from each week. So
right. And I was just gonna say that before I got into some other stuff, but the fight night after this pay-per-view is on the sportsbook.
Yeah, no, I wanted to talk about
Bilal
that.
Muhammad and Vincent Luque.
Yes, and Bilal Muhammad's the underdog.
I know he is. It's interesting,
I know.
Man.
I kind of like Bilal Muhammad. I like his reach. I like his striking in that fight.
First of all, I want to say this. 2 things.
Doesn't Luque kind of overrated, but he is good. I wouldn't say overrated. I just think maybe highly ranked. There is a little out of his league. Maybe.
There is 2 locks.
Still respect
on this April 16th fight night. 2 locks, and I will put it down right now.
Okay, because I don't know him.
First of all, you know this guy, Andre Muniz. He's the guy.
I don't think they're fighting.
Versus Uriah Hall.
I think that got called off.
It's on the sportsbook, and
I know,
I haven't heard anything about it.
I thought I saw something about it getting called off.
Well, let's do a little bit of research real quick. Not only do I love Andre Muniz as a prospect, yeah, I haven't seen anything. There's not anything popping up about.
Okay.
Set to fight, agree to fight. Yeah, this fight, as far as I know, is still happening. Not only do I love Andre Muniz as a prospect, and I think he's going to do really well, but stylistically, Uriah Hall is just a stand-up fighter.
Yeah,
as soon as Muniz gets him to the ground, it's over. This is a guy that tapped out.
You're gonna see this line shoot to minus 300.
Right, he's
right
minus
away.
210 right now. He
minus
Jacare,
280.
He's the guy that broke Jacare's fucking shoulder out of nowhere when everybody thought
that was crazy.
Right, and then he just fought someone a couple weeks ago. I can't remember who it was, but Muniz at minus 210.
Yep.
And then Drakkar close This is a guy who was in the top 15 of the lightweight.
Remember that? I remember him.
He got bounced out because he lost to... What's homie's name that was going to fight Makhachev? Darush. He got wrestled by Darush, which is a good loss. And now he's fighting Brandon Jenkins, who's another decent prospect, but Jakar Close is going to knock this guy out. This is a fight that I would honestly look at the under in the fight.
Yeah.
It's minus 420 for a reason.
Yeah, no. I'm just thinking what it's going to be after this. So right now I have a 5-team.
I also have a 5-team.
I accidentally got rid of this dude. I have a 6-team right now for plus 282.
Okay, lay it on me.
Volk, Piotr, Kamaev, Ian Gary, Jakar Close, Munez.
Who was the last one?
Andre
Muniz. I'm gonna have to look into Ian Gary. If you and each champ are on it, I'm definitely gonna be thinking about sprinkling. I'm gonna have to look into that. And plus, he's such a huge favorite. It makes sense.
Yeah.
What's Gary right now? Minus 360.
Is Ian Gary's minus? He's on UFC 273.
Yeah.
Okay. Minus 360. Volk minus 700.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not okay. You're not.
I'll write it down.
Jan minus 470, and Kamaev minus 550. Minus 550.
550. Yeah, that sounds right. Because he opened up at what, minus 400?
Yeah.
And then, here's the thing. I'm going to write this down just because we're sprinkling. But Gilbert Burns at plus 400.
Oh my god, I don't know. No.
No, I'm sprinkling Gilbert Burns.
Oh
1,000%.
He's going to get knocked out in a minute.
I don't think he is. I think this fight's going to be, people are going to be surprised.
We've said this before, though. No, I don't think he is.
But the difference in competition between Li Jingliang and Gilbert Burns is staggering.
We've said this before, too, with Mishart.
Right, he took a huge leap from Mearshart to Jingliang, and he's taking another huge leap now. This fight...
No, we said that when he faced Mearshart. Like, oh, Mearshart's going to take him down to the ground. He could submit him. Like, why is he plus 300? This makes no sense.
Right. But Gilbert Burns... I'm not saying that Burns is going to win. I'm saying that the odds are so great for Burns, you're never going to see Burns at plus 400 or anywhere close to that ever again. That it's worth sprinkling him with Volk, Jan, and Kamaev.
It's worth
Not
to
Kamaev,
just
obviously.
take all of them out and just put Burns on him and throw a fucking 25 beaner on it.
Right. Because the odds are going to go from these 7 with Kamaev, or these 6 with Kamaev.
You want to?
It's going to be like plus 400, maybe. Probably plus 250. And then if you throw Burns, it's going to shoot up to plus 900.
Okay, so let's take
You might as well cover your bases, throw a 30 bag on it, do something like that.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Take Kamaev off, put Burns on. 6-teamer plus 1,500.
Right. That's worth throwing a 30 on. Or a 50.
30 to win 450.
Right. That's totally worth it because to me...
50 to win 7.
Now, granted, Ian Gary, I don't even know who he's fighting. I know we just looked at it real quick. I think it's... he's fighting Weeks. Who's
You
this?
put 100 beaner on this?
On the one with Burns?
Because all the others are a lock. Is it a free $100 bet?
Ian Gary and Darian Weeks are both very unexperienced. I don't love betting on fights like that, by the way.
All right, then take
I
him off.
mean, I'm not taking him off yet because I'm gonna do my due diligence. If you and
sorry,
Ian both
everybody,
like
on
this, we're good.
Yeah.
But like Jesus, if you look at those odds, man. Minus 700, minus 470, minus 550, minus 360, minus 420. Like, we need some underdogs.
Rosenstrike? No, not even
Rosenstrike's
underdogs.
a favorite, too.
We don't need underdogs.
I know. We don't need underdogs, but
Mackenzie
if we could
Dern.
find a fucking underdog.
Mackenzie Dern's minus 110.
Mackenzie Dern.
Rosenstrike's minus 125.
Rosenstrike's line held. He's been at 125 for a while.
He's at minus 125 still. So I mean, like that's a pusher right there. And I think he beats Tabura. No cap.
I do too. I think he knocks out Tabura. I don't know if this over/under is out yet.
No, definitely not.
It is.
It is?
2.5. Under is minus 150. I'm pretty sure all the over/unders are out, by the way, for this pay-per-view. Volkanovski's
Minus,
not.
4.5.
Volkanovski's not on the app.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
He was on mine.
Jan Sterling, 4.5. Kamayev Burns, not out yet. We knew that was going to happen, though, because that's going to open up, like, hours before the actual fight takes place, and the under 1.5 is going to be, like, minus 400.
Yeah. Do you think Kamayev's line's going to, like, right before the fight, it's going to, like, shoot way down because people are just going to bet on
Burns? I was thinking that.
And I think...
Yes, I do. I do have that... I have that Saturday night off, by the way. I'm getting out of work at 4 o'clock. So I would be down to just go to the casino and literally watch the lines.
Can't. Oh, yeah, but... Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, go actually sit there and, like, pay attention to the fucking lines.
We can do a space talk.
Yeah. At the casino?
Yeah, we have earbuds. Put our AirPods in or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be down.
And
if Kamayev...
well, you got to put we got to watch... ESPN's not at the casino, so you're going to have to put it on your phone.
Oh, for the actual event? I don't want to do the podcast at the casino. That's not what I'm saying.
No, it's just space talk. Right. That's different.
Yeah, we can do like
space talk's different than we can just be like, oh shit.
Do they have... Alright, so this pay-per-view is regular time, by the way. Main card starts at 10. It's going to be over at 1 in the morning. It is regular time, which sucks because the last couple fight nights have been earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
The main card for the Luque versus Muhammad starts at 8 o'clock, like the Blades Dawkins one did. So the early prelims, there's a couple decent fights. We know Piero Rodriguez, Kai Henson is going to be decent. Vince Peichel, Mark Madsen is interesting, and I like Mark Madsen in this. We haven't really talked about this fight, but Madsen is this older dude, jiu-jitsu expert. I don't know if you've ever seen the bald guy that does a split celebration when he wins. Like he does a split in the middle of the octagon.
No, I don't know.
You probably recognize him if you saw him. Mm-hmm. But he's 11-0. He's fighting Vince Peichel. And it's an interesting fight. Madsen, I want to say, is the favorite.
This is 273.
Madsen's not the favorite. Madsen's plus 125. All right, so that's someone to keep an eye on. I like Madsen.
Okay. Dern. I'm not going to bet on her a lot.
I just noticed that Dern and Tisha Torres are now even.
Yeah, minus 110. Rosenstrike, minus 125 still?
Still?
I'm looking for it.
Minus 150.
Minus 150. I was looking at the wrong card.
So people have been hitting Rosenstrike. We knew that was going to happen. And honestly,
minus 150 is a trap line in UFC, by the way, but it's worth the risk sometimes. So it is a trap line.
So I'm going to do this, okay? What we have here, the blue is for UFC. I put UFC 273 just to show that those were in 273, but those 3 are locks. We're riding those to the fucking bank. We're taking those 3. I don't care about the odds.
Yeah.
Now, I vote that we also throw Muniz in the locks. I think Muniz, no doubt, fucks up Uriah Hall. I really don't see... And I'm willing to bet the under, even if it's 1.5.
I'm not betting the under on the pod bet.
We don't have to do it on the pod bet.
Okay.
Although I might talk about that. I might try to push for that for a little bit.
Okay. You can try.
Can I get the paper towel too, right?
Yeah. I think that's worth... I don't know if it's worth the sweat, man. I'd rather just bet on the fights on the pod bet.
Muniz's last 2 fights have ended. Oh, he beat
No, I'm not saying it's not possible, and I think he is the guy to do it. Because I didn't think he was going to be able to do it versus Jacare. I think I did take the over.
And then I want to say he beat Joaquin Buckley. Who the fuck was this last fight? Because I know he just beat someone in the first, 2 minutes. Eric Anders. That's who it was. Plus
He has
160.
a long name. I'm just gonna put Aspen.
Just put Lad. I've been putting last names.
Lad. Okay. Don't get mad.
Good old Lad.
Don't get mad. Get Lad.
Don't be sad. Get glad with Lad.
Plus 160.
Yep.
Now, not gonna bet on her a lot. I just liked her.
In
before.
Drakkar close, I'm really close to putting on the lock for the pod bet as well. I'm gonna hold off for like a couple more days to do a little bit more research on Brandon Jenkins.
Yeah,
That number's so high that it might not even be worth throwing it on.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna get plus 30 on the fucking odds we get. Yeah.
You know, that's a safety bet.
Right.
And it's worth it. Just because of the plus 400. That is like push the lines, and it will cover all your other bets that you made.
I think that I'm going to do a little bit more on close. I think we should look a little bit more into Aspen Ladd versus Raquel Pennington, because Pennington coming in on short notice could switch it up a little bit. And then Mackenzie Dern, Tisha Torres. Interesting. I would be fine betting all of these. Like, I swear to God, this is a 10-teamer. Actually, it's a 9. Kamaev and Burns switched out.
Yeah, a 9, yeah.
But I would be fine putting 2 10-teamers down. One with Kamaev, one with Burns.
Yeah, no, I'm going to do
riding
that. I know I'm doing that. Probably going to take Rosenstrike and Dern out and Madison out. And Burns.
I'm thinking I'm going to take Ladd out.
No, I'm going to keep Rosenstrike.
I'm going to take Ladd
and
Dern
out. Yes.
Yeah.
And
again, I'm going to have to look into Ian Gary a little bit more versus Darian Weeks. So, Ian Gary, because I was just looking at
he's a beast.
From this event.
Echamp says he's a beast. Now, I've listened to Echamp before.
So, Ian Gary's 24 years old, 8-0.
And I've lost. But I've also won a little bit. So, I'm going to ride him because I feel like the probability of him winning.
Right.
And like Echamp is hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Echamp, I know he's going to listen to this podcast.
I saw him put in a bunch of fucking basketball bets the other day.
Yeah.
He hit like 4 or 5 of them.
He's hot. Because he needs to win. You know, at some point. That shit's got to turn. You got to ride the wave. He's riding that wave right now. He's gliding that wave. And we just got to bet with him. Because you got to go with the hot hand.
And I'm not even doing my complete diligence. I have all these fucking backup fighters. I have like the top 30 welterweights, top 30 of every division in this spreadsheet, and I don't have Ian Gary or Darian Weeks in this spreadsheet, so I'm gonna have to get into them a little bit.
Well, good. This is why we do this, so
right.
You can do that. And this is a cheat sheet. Mm-hmm. Now, people should have to pay money for this.
Right. We're giving it a free little taste.
We
of it
are
right
gonna
now.
start a Patreon.
I think we should. I don't see why we wouldn't.
Even though our bets are gonna be for free.
Because we're gonna put them on the Twitter. But
yeah,
just
no matter
this,
what. And
Dylan's saying let him in on the Twitter space.
Oh, absolutely.
You're still not in that group chat. I totally forgot about that shit.
Yeah, that's okay. He didn't request. There's no request. Yeah, I think Aspinallad is a curious bet. I'm curious to see if that line moves at all.
If they I think it could get closer to even because I think people, because of the short notice. Now, it's not completely short notice because Pennington was training for a fight with Macy Chasen down the line. So she's been kind of in camp, but only just recently.
Yeah, wow, cannot be invited. People can't be invited. I can invite everybody but Dylan, so.
Really?
Oh, there he is. He requested. He's connecting.
Here we go. Is he just gonna say "fuck you, bitches"? And
no,
again?
I'm not. He can't speak. Oh, can he speak now? He might be able to. His mic was muted. I think Mackenzie Dern is an interesting one as well.
Mm-hmm.
We need something to push the line up.
I know. I'm fine with having these 6 or 7 favorites, but they're such big favorites that we're not getting any money, and we might have to just eat that. Because I'm not willing to put an underdog that I don't really believe in on the pod bet. So if we have to bet 3 units and only get 3, just double our money. Yeah. Like we're just gonna have to do that.
Yeah. Or do we also like do like Volk, Jan, Kamaev, Munez, and then bet like every other like put like Rosenstrike on it? That's a bet. Take Rosenstrike off, put Dern. That's a bet. Take Dern off, put Madison. That's a bet.
Yeah, we could, but it's not going to change the numbers that much. And depending, if we just throw like $5 on it, we're literally only going to take like 30.
Yeah, but you could do like a bunch of $10 bets and just like.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm just thinking.
If we do 4 or 5 leg parlays, I'm good with that. But if we throw $10 on a 4 or 5 leg, we're only going to be getting $50. And then if we throw 3 or 4 10 legs, at $10, or excuse me, if
but
we
I'm not really chasing them. I want to.
Like we gotta figure out the locks. So we got 4 locks. To be honest,
close is a lock. Okay.
Close.
It's the close is close to a lock.
I'm right. He's really close to a lock. I'm not willing to put him there yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna sprinkle some money on him. I figure we're going after this. I'm gonna sprinkle some on him, and I'm gonna throw him on a bet. But I'm not willing to put him on the pod bet yet. The pod bet I'm gonna do. Do we want to do the pod bet next week? Is it better to do it now so that the lines don't even go up more?
Do you think they go up more or go down less? I think they might go down less. Because people are going to look at these numbers and they're going to be like, oh. They're going to put Jan.
I don't see Volkanovski's number changing. I think that's going to stay.
Yeah, that would get higher.
Jan might go down, but it's not going to go down much.
Mm-hmm.
Kamaev might go down, but it's going to be closer to the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So, like, unless we're putting the pod bet in hours before UFC 273 starts, it might make sense to just throw the pod bet in tonight. Or we actually have, like, okay odds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to bet tomorrow, though. And like you said, we should bet NBA tonight to bet for the podcast. And,
So
the ticket, I'm not really worried about the ticket because I've won so much money.
Yeah,
I still have money.
But it would just be nice to go for free. That's what I was just thinking.
We are going for free.
Right.
We technically are going free. I got like $300 still left over. I don't really care. Who knows how much money I got?
I think I still have like probably 7 or 8 units that I haven't even put in the bank yet from the Curtis Blades fight winning me.
Yeah. Plus, I got this phone,
right.
It all comes.
Like we're not struggling, bro.
No, this 5-teamer, I'm looking at it now. 5-teamer plus Volk, Jan, Kamaev, Munez, close.
Plus 200.
Plus 200. That's good odds.
It is good odds. We're just so used to having the plus 500.
Yeah, that's good odds at plus 200.
Now, just for shits and gigs.
Take Kamaev off.
Take
and
Kamaev
put Burns
off and
in.
put Burns. And we're looking at plus 1160.
Worth it.
That is worth a $30 pinger.
Yeah.
For $350.
So you're only really winning 200 to win 400.
You're going to double your money on the podcast, on the pod bet.
Yeah.
If that doesn't hit because Burns hits.
No, you're gonna double because it's plus 200.
So say you throw
200 wins
down,
400.
You're gonna win. You're gonna walk out with 6, but if it doesn't, you're still gonna walk out with
660, 670. Sorry.
Right.
And then if Burns wins and all that other shit hits, then you're walking out with like 450.
So let's see what we got, and I'm gonna be conservative. I'm gonna
take
keep
Jan out.
I'm gonna keep Kamaev real quick. No. I just want to see what a 10-teamer would run us real quick. So
9.
I'm gonna throw Dern. I'm gonna throw Gary. I'm gonna throw Rosenstrike. Throw Madsen, Ladd, and that's a 10-teamer. Because I still have Close and Muniz.
Okay.
It's plus 7,000. You know what I mean? $5 for $350.
I like that bet. Take
Close,
Kamaev out, put Burns in.
Oh, Jesus.
Like 20,000 odds? 20,000? 28,000?
30,000. $5 to win 1,500.
worth it.
Are we gonna be rooting for Gilbert Burns now because of these fucking bets that we're gonna be overlapping?
Everybody. I want everybody.
I don't love Aspen Ladd.
No, neither do I.
I don't love Mackenzie Dern. I do like Mackenzie Dern. I'm not super confident. Let's go back to the women's bantamweight.
Oh man,
Strawweight? What is Mackenzie Dern? She's strawweight. Okay. So her last loss was against Marina Rodriguez. Really good loss. Before that, she beat Nina Nunes, Verna Jandarova, and who's Marcos? Maria Marcos.
Yeah.
So she was on a little bit of a tear until she lost to one of the top ranked contenders in her division. Now she's fighting Tisha Torres, who's also been on a 3-fight winning streak, and it only lost to Marina Rodriguez and Weili Zhang. This is a really close fight.
It is a close fight, and
so maybe take Mackenzie Dern off.
Yeah, I'd put the other chick in.
Oh no, I don't want either of them.
Oh,
because that's really fucking close.
Then take Aspen Ladd off too.
All right. So now we're looking at an 8-teamer at plus 6,000. Just under 6,000.
I like that.
Is there anybody else? Do we want to talk more about...
Is that with Burns on there?
Yes.
I thought so.
This is with Burns. If I throw it with Kamaev instead of
It's
Burns...
like 800.
1,300. Volkanovski, Jan, Muniz, Close, locks. Kamaev, lock. Gary, Rosenstrike, Madsen.
Gary, half a lock, 2.5 sweats.
Yep. For plus 1,300, it's not bad.
I wish I had...
Racks?
No, like money to bet. Like a decent amount of money. Because I'd put $100 on that.
Yeah. Quick 1,300. Now, do we want to talk about Luque versus Muhammad? Here's my thing,
yeah,
right?
We can talk about that.
We haven't seen Vicente Luque stand up and strike in a while. And Bilal Muhammad is all about takedown defense. I want to stay striking with you. Like Luque, we just saw him fight Michael Chiesa in a fight that Chiesa took him down, put him in a submission.
That was a crazy fight.
Really close, and then as soon as Luque got out of it, he put him in a triangle and tapped him right away.
Or Dars? Dars?
It might have been a Dars, yeah. It was a really good display
Really good.
of jiu-jitsu for Luque.
Yeah, both.
So if this fight goes to the ground, now Muhammad has good wrestling too, but if this fight goes to the ground, I do think that Luque wins. Problem is I think Muhammad's really good at stopping takedowns. Like, really fucking good. He fought Damian Maia, who is, for my money, Charles Oliveira's right up there with him now, but the best jiu-jitsu expert UFC's ever seen.
Yeah, he's an early GOAT in
right.
the jiu-jitsu field.
And Maia was like one of 17 for takedowns.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I'm going to turn towards the camera now. I think,
So you got Muhammad.
I think Muhammad's the bet, man. But to be honest, the real bet is not betting at all on that and just enjoying the fight because...
And Muhammad just beat Stephen Thompson, which just goes to show how good he is standing.
Yes.
But he's fighting Vicente Luque, who's beaten Michael Chiesa, Tyron Woodley, Randy Brown, Nico Price. Those are all good wins. Michael Chiesa's the best win for sure. Michael Chiesa was doing really good before Luque stopped him.
Yeah, shout out Michael Chiesa. Thanks for not starting beef.
Right.
Fucking texted me.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Whatever.
This is a close fight, and Luque's the favorite. I don't think Bilal Muhammad gets enough justice.
Bilal Muhammad being an underdog is worth the bet, but not a lot of parlays with him. Worth a straight bet, $200. Boom.
What else do we have for the week after the pay-per-view? April 16th. There's not a whole lot of fights. Michael Beza versus Andre Fiallo is interesting. Andre Fiallo just went 3 rounds with Michel Pereira and had a really close fight in that fight. I wonder if that fight's on the bet. Because Fiallo is the underdog against Miguel Beza. Plus 150. It's interesting. And there's not a whole else lot that I'm interested in.
I really like the people that we have up here. And we don't even have Bilal Muhammad up there.
Right. So, Dern, I'm going to throw Dern on a 9-teamer. To be honest with you, I don't know how much I'm going to put on Aspen Ladd.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to put anything, you know.
But the rest of them, I love Close. I love Madsen. I like Rosenstrike. Dern's our bright, cover our bases with Burns. Like, we're looking at some solid bets, and we, for the very least, have those 4 that we're going to lock in for a pod bet.
Yeah.
What is just those 4? Did we look that up already?
Yeah.
Was that the minus
Plus
157? Is it plus 100?
Plus 109.
Jan Muniz. Plus 141.
Oh, okay.
Plus 141, and then if you add Close, it's plus 199. So it's plus 200 with Close. 6-leg with Rosenstrike is plus 400. A 6-leg, though,
I know.
we've never done a pod bet with 6 legs. I think the most we did was 5.
No, yeah, but you gotta think, like, blocks-wise, Volkanovski, don't even count that as, that's like a 5-leg.
Right.
I think there's no way Volkanovski loses this fight, I don't think.
I don't either.
I was talking about it today with the guy at work, he's like, there's no fucking way, dude.
No.
And he don't look at the numbers or, like, anything like that. He's just saying as, like, a fan, as, like, a fighter.
Volkanovski, to me, if he stays in featherweight, the only way he's losing is if Max Holloway has his best fight ever.
Yeah.
Which is fucking saying something.
And it's very possible.
I do think that it is. I think that Holloway should have won the second fight.
Hey, I'd bet on Holloway.
I would. Oh, that's a conversation for another day because that fight will happen later on in 2022.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Volkanovski's getting kind of active. He didn't really have an active 2020? 2021?
21. He fought
one time.
I think he fought Holloway twice in 2020, and then I just think he fought Ortega in 21. Pretty sure.
Yeah, that was towards the end of the year.
Right.
So.
And that was the fight of the year, too. Volkanovski was damn good in that fight.
Dude.
He showed how fucking tough he was. He showed that
put him in that fucking
if Ortega
triangle.
can't tap out Volkanovski, I don't know who can.
Gordon Ryan, he trains with the best of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world. It's not... I mean, that counts for something.
Right. And I think Jan is a lock. I really think this is the one we've overlooked the most because Sterling is really good at wrestling, but Jan just wouldn't let him fucking take him down.
Yeah, we talked about that too with the guy where
he just wouldn't let him take him down.
What was he, like 0 for 10?
Yeah, I think he was 1 for 15.
1 for 15, okay. Yeah, that's a statement.
And that one time he took him down, Jan got up in like a minute.
Yeah, well, I guess like they were down on the ground too and he needed him. So.
Yeah. That was a knockdown, though. Like, Jan also had, like, 4 knockdowns in the fight.
That was so crazy, man.
I wonder... Let's get up those fights real quick. Because, to be honest, this is the fight of the 3 big fights coming up this pay-per-view that we've talked the least about, is Jan versus Sterling, too.
Yeah, well, we're a big Kamaev... Well, not big Kamaev guys, but, like, we've basically have talked about every single one of his fights, like, a good amount since he's gone into the UFC, just because of, like, his weird stat of 4 fights in the 4 fights in UFC, been punched 4 times.
Yep. One
of the punches, the guy was on his back, like from him like pulverizing him anyway, so it's really only like 3.
So not only was Sterling 1 for 17 on takedowns, but Jan was 7 for 7 on takedowns.
Yo, if you could bet $40,000, I would not bet it on Amanda Nunes. I bet it on Piotr Jan right now.
Yeah, but Aljamain Sterling... The bantamweight division is, in my opinion, the best division right now. The top 10, it is so fucking close. Like, you put the number 10 contender against Piotr Jan, it's still a good fight.
Yeah.
It's still a really good fight.
Yeah, Jan's going to win that, though.
Right. And you got... What's the tail of the tape here? How old is Piotr Jan? I want to say he's like 31.
29.
He's 29. Sterling has a 4-inch reach advantage. He's also... They're the same height.
That don't matter. Jan's too fast, and we already seen that.
Jan is a master in the sport of boxing, remember. That's where that whole thing started.
Yeah,
I wonder if we can look into what fighters are going to wear socks before the fight.
Dude, every time.
There was
they
one
must
fight.
Be weak.
There was one
They
fight.
must do that if they had a bad cut to like make them stand better or more support. In
Well,
their
if they have
ankles,
bad
because,
ankles, yeah.
Yo, that shit. Yo, they
If we
fucking lose.
If
every
we could
time,
look
bro.
that shit up, I would bet on the person not wearing socks like just about every time.
Like if, when they scan to the room and they're warming up, if I see that guy's wearing socks, I'm betting on the other dude.
Right.
Because 9 times out of 10, that guy wearing socks is fucking losing. He's losing.
There was one fight that happened at the end of last year where someone wore socks and they fucked up the person they were fighting. I can't remember who it was.
Pretty sure Glover Teixeira wore socks.
I know Blakovic did. Blakovic always
Oh,
does.
Blakovic did?
Here's something else interesting. So, we didn't even talk about last week's fight night. Blades versus Dawkins. Obviously, we know Blades won second round knockout. The under hit, and we had the over on some tickets.
A lot of people weren't... I went on Twitter after, and I was looking, and a lot of people weren't expecting Blades to knock him out, but I think...
I wasn't expecting him to knock him out.
No, I was expecting him to knock him out.
I was expecting him... If he won by knockout, it would be a TKO as a ground and pound. Like, he just took him down and fucked him up on the ground. And he even came out and said that he was coming out to prove a point that he wanted to knock him out and not just win by decision, which his last 3 wins in the UFC, 2 or 3, have been by decision.
Yeah, he knocked him out, man.
Knocked him the shit out. Here's an interesting thing, though. Also in that...
His technique ain't good, though.
I would say the biggest fight that happened on that card, at least in a long-term perspective, is a fight that we got wrong, which is Kai Kara-France versus Askar Askarov.
Bro,
I rewatched that fight.
Won that fucking
fight. Rewatched that fight. That was a really fucking close fight. Now, if you look at stats, Kara-France had more strikes and significant strikes. And that's what I think really did it. I think the second round, when Kara-France had Askarov in a little bit of trouble, I think that was kind of big for the judges.
Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the first round, you know, he's slapping he's on his back, he's got the butterfly or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like he won.
So,
Whatever.
Kai Kara-France now moves up to the number 2 contender in flyweight. And all of a sudden, Davison Figueiredo is saying he doesn't want to fight Brandon Moreno a 4th time. He wants to fight Kai Kara-France now. He came out and said that. He also said something about Brandon Moreno's team had racist comments about Brazil, and that's why he doesn't want to fight Moreno again. But now Davison Figueiredo says that he wants to fight Kara-France before he fights Moreno.
Smart on Figueiredo, honestly.
I think so.
Because
I think Figueiredo fucks up Kara-France. I think Figueiredo fucks up anybody in flyweight that's not Brandon Moreno and Demetrius Johnson.
Hey, we thought he was going to whip through Brandon Moreno, though, the first time. No cap.
Mm-hmm. And if he didn't kick him in the nuts. If that first fight, if Figueiredo did not dick kick Brandon Moreno like that and lose a point, he would have won that fight, and we would have never gotten the best flyweight rivalry ever. Never would have seen it.
Best ever.
There really isn't even a competition. Like, the best you could say is Demetrius Johnson versus Henry Cejudo, and that was 1-1 in fights that really weren't amazing.
Shout out Demetrius Johnson. Good win.
He just knocked out, what's that dude's name? Redbot?
Good win.
That's not his name.
It's kind of crazy how the UFC traded him for fucking Ben Askren, which blew up Jorge Masvidal. It wasn't even like...
And if you think about it, if you really think about it, so there was two things that got Demetrius Johnson kicked out. One, he's a flyweight, and flyweight don't sell as much. Yeah. That's just something that's a Dana White perspective. That makes sense.
Now it's kind of different.
Second of all, and I'm going to get into that. Second of all, Demetrius Johnson was always... He was like the number 1 pound-for-pound guy. He was 13-fight win streak, fucking everybody up.
Yeah.
And he wanted more money because he was this pound-for-pound great fighter, but he didn't sell tickets. So Dana White was like, no, I'm not... You know, we've had this discussion before. And then as soon as Demetrius Johnson goes off, flyweight starts becoming a really good... There was actually a 6-month period where they didn't have a flyweight champion.
Yeah.
And it was not really anything. Then Figueiredo comes out, and Moreno comes out, and this rivalry starts. Now you got Askarov, you got Kai Kara-France, Cody Garbrandt's dropping down to flyweight. There's some good... Manel Kopp is a prospect, 24 years old, in the top 10 already.
Yeah.
It's a really good division.
No, it is. It is.
I gotta plug my computer in real quick.
Yeah, I think, well, we should probably head to the casino soon.
Yeah.
Before these...
NBA games start.
Yeah.
It's about 7 o'clock, right?
Yeah, it is 7.
All right. So.
Oh, this is a little fast, isn't it?
Yeah, 6:58. So I think I would love to see Demetrius Johnson come back to the UFC, but he's killing shit in 1. I don't think he'll ever come back. But that would be great to see a Figueiredo versus Johnson fight. Two best flyweights in the world.
One has some interesting rules. Like their first round is more like Muay Thai. You can't take them down to the ground in the first round.
That was its own sanctioned match like that. One has regular mixed martial arts fights all the time, but that was a Muay Thai fight.
Okay.
Yeah, Demetrius Johnson choked him out unconscious. But Demetrius Johnson's been doing that his whole life. Demetrius Johnson is probably the most well-rounded fighter in the world.
Yeah.
I would say that. His stand-up striking is impeccable. His jiu-jitsu's amazing. But you see that from a lot of flyweights. Flyweights have to be all these well-rounded because they're so quick and they're so fast and they do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to throw these bets in. You get an early glimpse, anybody watching, about what the pot bet's going to be this weekend. In a week with no UFC is the title of this podcast because there's not anything to talk about this weekend. Episode 89. We're going to be 10 weeks away.
Oh, 10, yeah. 10 now, yeah.
So it's going to be, this is the end of March. You got April, May. This is going to be like
End
middle
of
of June. We're going to hit episode 100.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, June 11th. Oh, I got something to talk to you about. We can do this off camera. I can snip it a little bit. My mom does
Texas?
hotels. And she's getting she just got something from her hotel that a UFC event's going to be in Austin on June 18th, right next to her hotel. It's the week after a pay-per-view, June 18th. We might be able to go to that.
Okay.
For future reference. But, and that's might be like right around episode 100. So, a Texas vlog for episode 100 right before fight night, that would be, I'm just spitballing here, but yeah, that's something we could think about. In
that
Austin,
would be episode
for Austin,
100.
you know what I mean? Right.
In Austin, with Austin,
right.
In Austin.
But yeah, that's something to plan out for the future. We're a couple months away from that. Episode 89, we're going to come back to you guys regular time next week at Thursday at 7 o'clock. We just had to do this because we're going to the Bruins game tomorrow.
Yeah, could vlog that. Fuck it. No, we're not gonna.
Twitter space at the TD Garden.
No, we're going to get drunk.
Yeah, we're going to get fucked up.
Harry's going to drive us back. We're going to be yuking out the window.
By the way, Ilya Tuporia just tweeted, "Patty the baddie, I'm your daddy." Ha ha ha.
That is funny.
That is a fight I'm super interested to see if that fucking happens.
Yeah, Patty the Baddie, you're losing that fight. Oh, well.
That's a close fight, man. Tuporia's a natural featherweight, and he would come up to lightweight for that.
He got rocked that last fight. Even though he knocked him out, I was
He lost the first round.
For minus 550, I was sweating.
And Patty hasn't lost a round. He's got 2 first-round knockouts, one by knockout, one by submission.
He almost got knocked out, though, Patty, too. Can't
Did
forget that.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, he almost got knocked out, too. He got a little wobbly on there, but he's good on his back, too. He's got a lot of rear naked choke submissions.
Patty is
He hasn't showed his ground game.
Also, in his complete MMA career in London, in Britain, in his amateur career, whatever, he's never been knocked out, either.
Yeah.
He's been submitted, but he's never been knocked out.
Like that.
He has a chin.
Rock hard, chin.
And he has that attitude, too. Tuporia's he's a little laid back. He's kind of getting into it with Patty right now. But Patty has the attitude like, oh, I don't give a fuck. I'll fight you whenever. And I'm going to go eat my face off 30 pounds.
Well, I don't know about whenever because he said Dana White needs to add a couple zeros.
He got paid $25,000 for that fight.
Yeah.
On the main card.
Yeah. I thought he got paid more with bonuses and stuff.
Oh, he got, not including the bonus, because everybody got a $50,000 bonus.
Yeah.
Dana White said that he wants to do another UFC London card this year.
Yeah, if there, that would be one I would want to go to too, is in London because number one, I think the atmosphere is way
crazy,
way better.
Everybody is going off in the crowd.
The crowd's way better there than fucking in America because I don't know why we suck as humans over here. Like I don't know, really. I think that's what it is. Like people are selfish.
And I think also the fact that they never get to see one live. Every time they do, that sells out.
Yeah, because
but that's
it's only there once a year, twice a year. When you go,
there hasn't been a fight night there in 2 years.
Four British fighters last fight. They all
Aspinall, Pimblett, Arnold Allen. Yep.
Oh, then 5.
And I can't remember who he
Paul
is.
Craig.
Paul Craig is Scottish, so it's technically he's from Great Britain.
Oh, they were cheering the fuck out of him.
Was Paul Craig on that card?
Yeah.
Oh shit. He was, wasn't he? Yeah. He got that fucking late submission off.
Late
That's
triangle
so great.
choke.
That's so fucking
Not
awesome.
late, early first round submission.
Late in the first round,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that was a really great
He was
card.
getting his ass
That is up
beat.
there for one of the best cards of the year. I think I have that for the superlatives as the second best card of the year.
Yeah. Meatball Molly's now signed to Barstool Sports, like Patty.
I don't know who Meatball Molly is. Molly McCann?
Yeah.
The girl that had this spinning elbow? Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we didn't even talk about the best combat sports moment of the week, dude. What do you think about Will Smith slapping the shit out of Chris Rock?
Oh, I've been tweeting all about that.
Dude,
Yo,
what
send
did you
Will
think
Smith the
about that?
contract. Bro,
Do you think that's legit?
oh, yes.
You do think it's
Yeah,
legit?
he's a fucking...
I don't
he's
know.
a pussy.
I don't know. He apologized for it. I was so pissed that he apologized for it.
Why?
He tweeted out that he's sorry and there's no room in this world for violence and it's all about peace and love. And I'm like, dude, he was making fun of your wife. You can slap the shit out of him.
You think he should... Dude, I think he's in the wrong, dude. Be a fucking man.
I don't think he's
Sit
in
the
the
fuck
wrong.
back.
I don't think he's in the wrong.
Oh, absolutely. He's
do I
in the
think he
wrong.
should have done it?
You fucking
No.
press assault. That's charges, bro.
Right.
You know Will Smith...
Do you think it's hilarious that Kobe pressed charges on Jorge?
Yo.
Chris Rock didn't press charges on Will Smith?
No, he shouldn't press charges either way because, number one, it's a joke. Sit the fuck down, buddy.
Right.
Sit down. It's
And
a
there's
joke.
clips of
It's
Chris
a
Rock-
comedian. He was laughing right before that.
There's clips of Chris Rock making jokes about Jada Pinkett in like the 2016 Grammys too. And now it comes out in the 22.
Yeah, Will
and he
Smith
slaps
made
her.
fun of a girl in 2012 that had it.
Right.
So it's like,
He called her G.I. Jane.
dude, like, number one, you're a fucking role model, dude. You
Like,
can't just do that.
Will
number
Smith
one.
didn't even slap the girl she actually slept with that hard.
That's what I mean. Like, what the fuck's going on in this relationship? They have the weirdest relationship ever. Yeah,
People are trying to take away his Oscar
I
now.
think, yeah, they should. Fuck
I
you.
don't think they should.
Fuck you.
I don't think the Oscars have any bearing on any legal sense. If you want to
Dude,
press charges on them
honestly-
and get him arrested,
Honestly, who cares about the fucking Oscars?
I know.
I don't care
if
what
if
they...
this didn't happen, I would have no
Yeah,
idea the Oscars
I don't
even happened.
care.
I literally wouldn't have even known.
Yeah, I don't care what happens to his fucking Oscar. I don't care if he... I really don't care if he keeps it or doesn't keep it.
Right.
I just know, like, yo, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't do that. You got a little lint on your forehead there.
Some.
But, wow, sign him a contract, get that fight signed.
Let's
Yo,
go. Get
Chris
that.
Chris Rock's shit is, like, blowing up.
He just released the world tour. He's gonna be the most famous comedian.
His fucking his tickets that were already sold. It was already sold out. People are reselling them for mad money.
Yeah.
Like he's in high demand now. But hey, yo, honestly, best thing that could have happened to him.
Right. You got the shit smacked out of him, and it worked out.
Best thing that could have happened to Chris Rock. Worst thing for Will Smith because now
Will Smith does not look good.
now he's getting a lot of backlash.
Yeah.
He should have got fucking escorted out of there. You can't fucking just do that, dude.
Right.
Like, what if I?
That's why I think it's staged, dude. I think there's a little part of that they worked out beforehand.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. Because of the F-bombing.
Yes, that him yelling out afterwards makes it seem less, but at the same time, right? If you're pissed enough and want to make a point enough to go up there while this guy's having a monologue, are you gonna slap him? Or are you gonna deck him in the face? You know what I mean? You're already
He
gonna
did
go hit
a
him.
weird slap. Like,
He
he
did.
second guessed it when he was actually doing it, and I noticed that.
It looked like
I
an
was
acted slap.
I was
he
like, why did you slap with, number one, your palm like this? Like, you're going for a fucking high five, dude.
Right.
Why not just load back? Why go like this?
Why not punch him? I guess if you're gonna
Why?
punch him, that might disrupt the Oscars, and he was
Punch-
trying to let
Punch
it go.
might be like, all right, maybe assault, maybe, or like
Definitely
what-
assault. Either
well,
way,
well, it was
assault.
definitely
Either way.
assault either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a fucking joke, man.
I
Like, people are taking, I think, life too serious now, especially with this whole corona and obviously everything that's going on in the world.
Mhm.
People need to fucking chill out and just fucking sit back and laugh.
Right.
For real. Like, on a for real note. 'Cause that shit's uncalled for.
Amy Schumer came up right after and was like, "Did I miss something? I was in the back. Like, did something happen?" Or
That's the best thing you could have said.
and everybody
because-
was just laughing, and Will Smith's just sitting there like, "Why you motherfuckers laughing?" Like,
Yeah, it's because, bro,
Such a bad look.
you just slapped a motherfucker on stage. What is wrong with you? All right. Whatever.
Anyway,
it's just sounding like a broken record.
It for episode 89. Week and a half away. Make sure you go on our Twitter at complete_MMA. I've been tweeting out a lot lately. Been doing polls, different type of shit. And we are going to be putting down our pod bet when we do put it down, whether it's tonight or next week, depending on how lines change. We're going to be putting it down. We got these 4 for sure. Gilbert Burns and Drakkar close.
4.5 because of close.
Right. And then we're going to be looking at Mark Madsen, Mackenzie Dern, Jairzinho Rosenstrike, Ian Gary, and possibly Aspen Ladd. I'm going to sprinkle maybe one ticket on Aspen Ladd. But yeah, that's going to do it. Till next week, buddy. We're going to have a good time at the Bruins tomorrow.
Yeah, good time with the Bruins.
Unfortunately, no UFC this weekend, so we will just be on Twitter. Everybody come follow our Twitter. We put out good shit lately.
Yeah, probably do another space talk if the lines move. Maybe Sunday morning. So watch out Sunday morning.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so from MMA Complete, thank everybody for tuning in. We're going to be out of here. Check us out next Thursday at 7 p.m. when we do our regularly scheduled podcast. And then make sure you tune in for our live reaction stream when we go live on April 9th from about 8 o'clock. Depending on what we do with the casino with the lines moving, it's going to be around 8 o'clock p.m. all the way to 1 o'clock in the morning for UFC 273. Thank everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.